Hey folks, hey, welcome to the Bitcoin Power Team Hangout on Air. Today's Sunday, September the 4th, 2016. Hi, I'm Chuck Shadduck and I'm the Digital Duck. I live in St. Joseph, Missouri, and I'm 63 years old. I've been married to my wife for 30 years now. We have 3 children, 4 great-grandbabies, going on 5. My reasons for rising each day are my family, my wife, my kids, our children, everything else, and really one of my greatest joys in life is being able to help other folks. Right? And we are the Bitcoin Power Team, and we're here all about that, out to help other people break free from job slavery and move into residual income. That's one of my biggest priorities in life, and tonight we're going to share with you some of our reasons for getting in here, and we're going to share with you the actual owner of the Zarfund group that is amazing. It is the best thing I've seen, and I'm 63 years old, so I'm telling my age, but I've been around in this network marketing for a long time, and I'm just super excited and super thankful that I saw the hangout that this gentleman was on, Hans, and one of his last words was he's out to beat poverty. I give you 5, you got my back. I got your back. I'm here to do the same, Mr. Jordan. He's from South Africa. We're going to meet with him in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up on the screen. He'll introduce himself, and then our panel, along with myself, maybe may ask a question or two in between. So if I can, I'm going to go ahead and unmute myself, and I'm going to go ahead and get Greg to bring Mr. Jordan up on the screen, and then we'll go ahead and get talking. If he'll unmute himself, then I'll mute myself. So if you would, Hans, go ahead and unmute yourself, and thank you for hanging out with us, clear from South Africa, from St. Joseph, Missouri. Good to see you, sir. I want to go ahead and let you introduce yourself to the world and our team, and tell us why you started Zarfund. I know already because I saw it in your eyes and in your heart when you did the video. So, but I would appreciate where you're at, what you're doing, and where do you see Zarfund going?
Hi, Chuck. Thank you again for the introduction. My name, as you heard, is Hannes Jordaan. I'm from a little town smack in the middle of South Africa called Klerksdorp. And yeah, I've been online like most people, trying to make a buck and keep the family alive. And I've been recently in other ventures, and I just got the idea to change those to be easier and to fix some problems in systems that's similar to Zarfund. And that's how I came about with Zarfund. But the idea behind Zarfund was I wanted a system where anybody, regardless of background or location in the world, can spend around $17 and generate a substantial income by only starting and inviting 2 people. I had to make it as easy as possible, but also as simple as possible. Now, yeah, I think I failed a bit on the simple part because there are some intricacies to the program, but well, that's what I tried. So I wanted it to run on Bitcoin because I believe that Bitcoin is the payment vehicle online of the future. That's internet money. That's the way it should work. And we don't want to keep the banks happy. We're not interested in the governments and keep on feeding the governments through all kinds of things. I've got nothing against banks, and I've got nothing against governments. They do have their place in the world, but I believe they've infiltrated our lives enough, more than enough. So Zarfund, in a way, it's my way of getting back and say, listen, let's simplify life. Let's make it easy for people of all backgrounds to start making and earning a living online as it's possible. So yes, Jack, over to you. I'm not sure if you're looking for anything else than that.
Well, Hans, it's Hannes, right? Am I pronouncing that right? I'm terrible with names, my friend. If I spell it wrong, Hannes, right?
Hannes, that's correct, Jack.
All right, Hannes, I'll get it right. You can call me Chuck or Duck, but if I'm late for dinner, Mom used to say, Charles, get your butt in here. So What I'm going to do now is I'll ask you just go ahead and mute your microphone, and I'm going to bring up Vance Baggio from Florida here and ask Vance to maybe pop out a question for you. So let me go ahead on and get Greg to white box Vance, and we'll get Vance to unmute himself and pop that question if he has one. Alrighty, Vance, the floor is yours, brother.
Alrighty. Hey, again, just with regards to the program, what do you suggest being the first or the way to introduce this program to other people? You know, now a lot of people are skeptical, and you know, when they see, you know, this type of a deal, a lot of them don't know about the Bitcoin. You know, personally, I know about, you know, cryptocurrency and all that, but a lot of people that I personally know, you know, don't really know about it. So what do you suggest in regards to, you know, how to get people into this program?
Okay, Vance, it's actually a very easy answer. You know, people generally do the direct approach. They say, hey, I've discovered ZarFund, and it's such an awesome program. It only costs $17 around, and you only need to get in 2 people. You know, that I call the direct approach. But I'm all for, listen, everybody needs to learn about Bitcoin. So let's take another approach, the Bitcoin approach. Say, hey, I'm here to help you get acquainted with Bitcoin, get your hands dirty, get a wallet going, get some Bitcoins flowing in and out. And so I'm all for when people approach this to say, listen, let's do Bitcoin. Let me teach you about Bitcoin. And now that you know and understand Bitcoin, let's get you to start getting Bitcoins into your wallet. And that's where I would introduce ZarFund as one of the vehicles people can use to get some Bitcoins going into their wallets. But my approach is always indirect, rather used to teach people about Bitcoin and the benefits of Bitcoin and how people can use Bitcoin in everyday lives. That's what I'd like people to do, because that's the bigger impact. That the moment when people understand Bitcoin and the blockchain and how safe it is, much safer than any bank, and it's decentralized, so there's no control of any governing body. Even in ZarFund, I've got no control over any of the funds. So, and that's one way to get people to say, listen, nobody's got control over that than you. It's your bank. So teach people about Bitcoin, and then give ZarFund as one of the vehicles to get more Bitcoins into your account. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. I appreciate it. That sounds simple. So I didn't think about the education part of it, teaching it, and then you can bring it in and say, oh, let's use this as an example and go from there. But yeah, that's a good answer. Appreciate it.
Cool. Okay. Hey, thanks, Vance. I do appreciate the question yourself, because that's one that I did have too. That's another approach at it. So let me go ahead and now, if I can get Greg Ballou to go ahead on and get Ty Young to unmute himself, and the white box Ty Young. So Ty, would you ask Hannes, I got it right this time, a question that you may have in your mind about ZarFund? Go ahead on, Ty.
Hey Hannes, I actually have 2 questions for you. And can you hear me? Everybody hear me? Good. Okay. They kind of go hand in hand together. I was wondering, how do you get your traffic source? Where you get your traffic source, or what do you use as a traffic source? And then, if someone joins under you, where do they go? If there's like millions of people under you, or thousands of people under you, or whatever, where do they actually drop at?
Okay, Vance, to answer your first question, can you repeat that first question again? I got tracked on the second one.
Okay, the actual traffic.
I love it.
The actual traffic source that I'm using right now is Facebook and Twitter.
Traffic.
Social
media,
okay. is where I try to like say, I'll take this video right here and I'll share it to all my social medias. Okay.
Okay.
And my
I'm with you.
people that can relate to me is going to look at it, and people that are interested might get in. But I wanted just to answer for their questions how easy it is, where they're going to fall in if they join now. It's not going to be particularly under me, but where actually are they going to fall in the matrix, and how is it going to happen?
Okay. The first part of your question was traffic, related to traffic. Where do you find people to join you, for example, in Zarfund? And that could be for any program. Now, you need to go where hungry fish are, or where the fish swim that you're interested in catching, if we can use that analogy. Hungry fish is always the best fish to go for. Now, we do find online there's hundreds and thousands of programs, and they fail. Around every corner of every one that succeeds, that lasts for a couple of years, there's hundreds more that fail within the first 1 month or 2 or 3. And those are the hungry fish, believe it or not. Those are the fish that I look for. So when Triple M, if we can use that example, was struggling, they battled to get new people in. A lot of people's money got stuck there, and so. And I would join those groups online, and then I would start looking at who's the angry and the hungry fish. People that's disgusted with how the system failed them. And say, listen, but I do have something. Look at this model. And if you're happy with that model and you see yourself doing this successfully, then you're a prime candidate. You're a hungry fish. You're ready to join a new school of fish that want to make this thing happen and want to make it succeed. So to me, I always look at which programs failed, which programs attracted a lot of people, and it's also good to look at the similarities of those programs to what you want to get people involved in. So that's basically what I do. And yeah, mostly people are hanging out on Facebook. So that's the biggest and the clearest example of where to find. Just join groups that's got related with money-making, MLM, or any names of similar programs that they're joining, and join in. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a member or not. Get with the people, start learning, or start meeting new people, expand your friends, influence, and start talking to people. Not always on a recruiting way, but start to get friends with people. You'll always find people that you attract to, and they're attracted to you in some way. And it's important to mold and develop those personal touches that you can, friendships that you can have with people online. And that will help you again. When you do find a gem, then you have something to offer them that they will be interested in. So it's more about keep those relationships going. Regarding the second part of your question, the program, the way it works, say you send out your link to 5 people. Let's make it 8. And 8 people sign up under your link. So they will lie on your first level, but none of them will be active in the system until they upgrade. So what will happen then is the first 2 people that joined you, well, the first 2 people that upgrade, and that could be number 8 and number 6, doesn't matter when they joined you, the first 2 people that upgrade, they follow your first 2 legs. They follow up your level 1. Okay. And the rest, the moment they upgrade, they will still show up on your level 1. But only when they upgrade will they be spilled down to either one of the 2. It won't go to the left, and it will not go to the right. It goes to either one of the 2. So the system is not set up to go left, for example, or it's not set up to go right. It's set up to go to any one of those 2. And the rest will spill down exactly the same way. When the next person upgrades, then the system will see, okay, the first level is full. The second level, it will then go to one of the 2 legs, So it might go, say the first guy, well, the third guy that upgraded fell under your left leg. When the fourth guy upgrades, the system will look at the two at the top, say, okay, there's no space there. Then it might go left and it might go right. If it goes left, then it falls under, well, it joins number 3 and sits next to 3. If it doesn't, then it will go to right and see there's 2 empty spots, so it will fall under one of those. And so it will do with the rest. And doesn't matter who comes in, they will every time will spill down as the system dictates. When it says, okay, this one is full, then it goes either the one or the other, and then again looks for an empty spot, and it will spill down until all spots are full. And that doesn't matter if someone in a month's time still found your link to sign up, they will land under you in your first play, but only once they upgrade will they spill down through all the levels to an empty spot, depending on where the system places them. Does that answer your question?
Awesome. That's a lot more than I expected. Thanks.
Good stuff.
Hey, Hannes, thank you very much for that answer. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna bring up Mira from over across the pond also, and you know Mira already, but I don't know if he's got any questions stored up for you or not. It could be a surprise. So let me get Mira on here. If Greg will white box him and bring him up on the screen for folks. Mira, go ahead and ask you any questions you may have, or give us a tidbit of information from your side of the pond, if you would. Thanks.
Hi guys, my name is Neeraj. I'm from India. This was a question I always wanted to ask. Before that, let me tell you why I am into this program. I had missed the Bitcoin revolution in 2009, and that's why I know it is going to rise, the Bitcoin price. So I am into that for that. Okay, so that is the main reason why I want to be associated with this same, and I know it's the future of money, so I'm interested in that. My question was relating to Bitcoin. I've been following the price for the Bitcoin, like it was around 570 around a day or two. It became 598 yesterday. Now, when I last checked it, it was 614. So my question to you was, what price are you expecting by the end of December 2016, or what price do you expect in the near future? Maybe not in December, but maybe down the line. Also, if you could share some things. Why does the Bitcoin price fluctuate so much? Because many people say, okay, the price is rising, but they also say that the price is also fluctuating a lot. So why maybe I might just be getting a lot less amount. So maybe if you could explain some things about that. Thank you.
Okay, Mira, I don't consider myself a Bitcoin expert. What I do realize is because Bitcoin is in the open market, and market dictates the price. So just like any commodity on the market, if there's enough people that are interested in it, and more people purchase it, and buy it, and trade with it, then the price will go up because there's a limited supply. There's only 21 million Bitcoins that will be released, and the last one will be, I think, in 2140, around there. So there's a limited supply of Bitcoins, and the more people want it, then obviously the price will go up. Now there are some influences in the market that will make that the Bitcoin price drops, and also some indicators that will make that it rises quite a bit significantly in the short term. Now, Bitcoin as such has reached a fairly consistent growth, as is expected of a commodity like Bitcoin to reach, because more and more people adapt to the currency, to the altcoin, and they want it. They want it, and they want more of it. They see the value and how the value increases, contrary to any of the other monetary, the fiat currencies that we have. So the things that have an influence on the Bitcoin price to a negative level will be when, for example, there was a scheme that fell flat, and now the FBI, for example, have a lot of coins that they need to sell. Then that has an impact on the market, because now suddenly there's a big influx of new coins hitting the market, and that always has an influence. Another thing is when an exchange got hacked, for example. Now Bitcoin and the blockchain has never been hacked, and there's a couple of things, but we don't want to go into the technicalities of it. But yeah, when exchanges get hacked, then that has a negative reflection on the Bitcoin, even though it's got nothing to do with Bitcoin. It has a negative influence on Bitcoin, and then that's sometimes that you see that the price of the Bitcoin drops. Fortunately, we don't have governments that really have much influence on the price of Bitcoin, except if they, as a country like China, buys up a lot of Bitcoin suddenly, and then at some point in time floods it again back into the market to create over exertion to the coin. But yeah, the other things that help the Bitcoin is when there's halving taking place, before the halving, and that will happen again about 4 years' time. Then that also has influence on the coin, and the time before the halving, then the coin tends to jump with about 30 to almost 50% in value. So that's always a good thing to look forward to every 4 years. And then it settles down, drops again back about 20% to keep with the steady growth of Bitcoin. There's little things every now and then, depending on who made the announcements, but not on the political side, more in this industry as such, where big players make some announcements, and that also has kind of influence. But yeah, the market always comes back to where the regular price and the regular growth is. But Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin will just go up. The predictions, I've heard some wild predictions, but best to stay on a conservative side when listening to predictions. Know that the price is going higher. You will always get more back from selling your Bitcoin than what you bought it a year before. Okay, that will always be there. Simply because we're not dealing with a fiat currency, and it can't be inflated. We've got a limited supply, while with fiat currency they just print more. Flip a switch and there's 100 trillion more dollars in circulation, and that you can't do that with Bitcoin, and that's why the price will keep climbing, and it will, as more people adapt and accept Bitcoin as a mode of paying, then we're just enhancing and making that process faster. And that was one of the reasons why I started ZarFund and only allowed Bitcoin, because I did not want to support the fiat currencies. I wanted the Bitcoin. I wanted more people to learn about Bitcoin and accept that as a payment option. So yeah, in a way, I'm forcing people, hey, if you want to make money with ZarFund and give and receive donations, then adapt to the new technology and get accustomed to at least Bitcoin and learn about Bitcoin. So yeah, the drive in ZarFund will be much more on training and teaching people regarding Bitcoin. Does that answer your question, Mira? Excellent. Any more questions from you? Okay, brilliant.
Oh yeah, Hanson. I have a couple of questions for you, my friend. Where do you see ZarFund in 6 to 12 months from now? We'll start with that question. What is your vision 6 to 12 months from now with ZarFund?
Okay, great. Yeah, ZarFund, I see ZarFund well on the way in 6 to 12 months. I see longevity with ZarFund because, you know, the way the program is structured, I know there's a lot of people, you know, throwing Ponzi, the name Ponzi around. And, well, generally Ponzi has something to do with the top makes the money and the bottom, you know, someone loses out somewhere. But now consider the next scenario. If there's only 6 levels. For me to fill 6 levels takes 128 people. And to fill the next 6 levels, the total is 4,096 people. Okay, now the numbers increases exponentially. But consider the next scenario. I pay in total 3.68. I'm not with the numbers at the moment, but I pay a ridiculously low amount of 3.38 bitcoins a month, and I can receive 168.28 bitcoins back with my 6 levels full, and nothing stops me to go and jump in again below my 6th level. And if everybody does that, it ensures that the longevity of the program is so much more ensured. And even opening up multiple positions from family members and causes like churches and schools and you name it. There's many worthy causes that you can go and sign them up and help them to get people under them so that they start benefiting from what we have here in ZarFund. So yeah, I can see that ZarFund 6 months from now, a year from now, we will have some steady, just like now. We didn't jump off a cliff and just got an exponential growth. ZarFund is growing steadily. It's not something that's growing as fast as similar other programs. Even of looking at the numbers, it's steady growing. It's not something that's taking off and getting too much people in at the beginning, and then it will flatten out. The steady growth of ZarFund, simply because of the learning experience. People, and that's another factor to take in consideration. Most people do not know how to do Bitcoin. They don't. Most people have no idea about Bitcoin. Yes, most people have heard about Bitcoin, or a lot of people have heard about Bitcoin, but still, Bitcoin is still very foreign to a lot of people in the market. So there's quite a bit of scenarios and variables that will make that ZarFund will last for a very long time. And we as members, we have the keys to make it last infinitely, simply because of the way we can increase our growth in earnings, and also by teaching the market regarding Bitcoin, and they jumping on board to understand it better and also to use it for themselves and their communities.
All right, awesome. One more question for you is, if to the viewers that are watching this hangout right now, that are or maybe wanting to, you know, add another stream of income, or maybe be looking for another way to make money, why would you recommend joining ZarFund, a team of ZarFund members, or what have you? Why would you give a good example of why would you use ZarFund as a vehicle to build Bitcoins in your Bitcoin wallet.
Okay. You see, with ZarFund, and that's why I developed the system like it is, I couldn't find anything out there that was sustainable, that was easy to do, that was cheap to get into, and where you can get leaders that are willing and able to assist you, to help you build your teams. You see, to me, it's very important that it needs to be simple, it needs to be easy, and it needs to be affordable for people to adapt and take part in ZarFund. So it's to, you know, if you look at the broad spectrum of programs out there, then ZarFund will stand out as one of the most unique programs where you can get involved in. It's very unique in the sense that we only cater for a specific market. And that market, and that segment of the market, is Bitcoin enthusiasts and people that's interested in Bitcoin. So it's highly specialized field. And that's why we're not attracting the hundreds of thousands in a week to join the program. We are only interested in that specific niche market. And that's why the more people that see that how Bitcoin is influencing the world and will stand out as the payment processor on the internet that stands out above any of the fiat currencies. Doesn't matter what happens with them, if they're going up or down. Bitcoin is totally different in that regard. And so yeah, if you're looking for a program and looking for a bunch of leaders that really have your best interest at heart, then come and look at ZarFund and look at people like Chuck and his team that has got your interest at the heart, to not just to give you a way to earn money, but to help you and assist you in getting more members in your lines so that you can start growing, not just financially, but also as a person. And that's the idea behind ZarFund, to get people to start talking to each other, not just to jump from the one shiny thing to the next shiny thing, and you're uncertain, will this thing last? I think ZarFund will surprise you in about 6 months to a year of how many people's lives have been changed, and still how many people are still jumping on board to be part of that community. We really are a community that care, and we want to help people to change their lives. And Bitcoin, I see the future of Bitcoin helping with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the leaders of ZarFund. I know a few of them. I love the groups that we have in Facebook. You know, I love our team. And I love the fact about ZarFund, and what I like, and what attracted me to ZarFund was the fact that, you know, no matter how much I can recruit, or Chuck can recruit, or anybody on this panel can recruit, you can only have 2 on your front line. The rest of them will go down to your team. And to me, that was beautiful, because everybody wins with ZarFund. You're not left behind while the guy at the top's making all the money and you're still struggling trying to build a team. We all build a huge team together, and that's what I loved about ZarFund. Chuck, are you back with us, buddy? Okay, maybe not. Does anybody else have any questions? Or Hanson, do you want to say any other words? I mean, I think this has been a great hangout. Raise your, I mean, y'all, anybody wave at me if y'all have another question or anything. Hanson, if you would, okay, Mira, hang on just a second. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Greg, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Chuck. I think Mira's got a question. Hang tight. Go ahead, Mira.
Can you hear me, Greg?
Yes, we hear you, Chuck. Hang tight, buddy.
Oh, I'm back.
My question was, it is not more of a question, but since we are part of a whole family of Zarfund, I just wanted a few things. Number one, you talked about education of Bitcoin. That's a wonderful thing that that is there. Now, when we go to the website, Zarfund, you have to actually log into Zarfund, and then only you get to see those tutorials in which you there's a video of Bitcoin. So is it possible we can have it outside so everybody who wants to have a look at Bitcoin can actually go through that? And yeah, that was the only question I had.
Okay. Neela, you're touching a very valid point there. Yes, all the basic videos. What is Bitcoin? What's the blockchain? How to open up a wallet, etc. You know, stuff like that. I would like to have anybody to have access to those, not just the members, because it's important that even some outsiders that's not interested in Zarfund should be able to access those trainings, so that they understand Bitcoin, understand the blockchain, and the basics of opening up a Bitcoin wallet and how to use it. So yes, very valid point there, and I think that's going to be a good thing to include. Let me just give you, on top of that, I would like to, you know, especially for the Americans, I know that they look at anything that does not have a product attached to it as a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme or a scheme of sorts. So we will be working on adding products in the near future that will be training specifically to Bitcoiners and the Bitcoin, how Bitcoin operates, etc., and how to use Bitcoin in a marketplace and where to use your Bitcoins, etc. So we'd like to include as a product range for the members, where they actually, the donations that they make will in a sense be membership fees to reach different levels of training, so that in that sense we just legitimize the opportunity a little bit more for our American market. Because I know that's quite a concern for a lot of people, and you know, like I said in the beginning, the market dictates what a program should be, and if the market will be interested in an opportunity, so it's important to me to listen to the market and say, hey, this is needed, so let's focus on that and get that in the program to help others that struggle with the fine-tuning of what we have here. To me, it's legit. In the South African point of view, there's nothing wrong with the program legally that I know of, and I think most places in the world does not have that problem. But now, there are some countries, like the United States, that do need more clarification. They need to draw the line a little bit more towards one side for it to be legal. And so yeah, to me that's a very important thing to address in the future for Zarfund, to ensure that we have a sustainable platform, that there's no fingers that can be pointed to us and said, listen, but yeah, you're doing this or you're not doing this. And so we'll be looking at that in future.
Awesome. So you're working on some products coming to Zarfund. That right there will solve a lot of issues going around, a lot of questions, you know, because I get that all the time, you know. It's like, hey, you got Zarfund, where's the product, you know? And we're like, well, Bitcoin is the product, you know. It's a currency, you know. It's cryptocurrency. It's traded online, you know. It's traded on stock market, what have you. So, but everybody sees the vision and see how it works, and that is the main thing. So I think ZarFund is doing phenomenal, Hanson. And it's only been live like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and we've already we're pushing almost 5,000 members. So I think it's doing a phenomenal job. I think. I want to say again, I thank you for starting ZarFund. I think that is awesome. So anybody else got any more questions? Okay, Vance.
Hey, just one quick question. How I know a lot of people from South America, the Spanish market, and all that. How is it? I guess is it easier for them to sign up? Through the website, doing the Bitcoin thing, being out of the country and everything. Are there like any difficulties trying to sign up somebody from, like, say, Peru or Ecuador or whatnot?
Okay, there is a Google translator on the website that will translate most of the stuff on the site. I do have some people, and maybe once you can join in that took that main image on the front page and translate that to different other languages. And they will put it up so that people can download that in the tutorial section, for example, to make it easier for them to explain. I know I've got someone on Russia that is busy with that, and I've given to some Spanish guys, but I'm not sure they've done anything on it yet. But yeah, if we have people online that want to adapt that image, I'll just give you access to the Excel spreadsheet on Google Docs, where you can go and change the wording to your language. But I must say we've got people from Japan, China, Czechoslovakia, we've got from all over. I haven't looked at the countries, but when I go into members' profiles, I see, no, this guy's from, so we've got people from all over. I don't see we have any of the countries that, well, yeah, there will be countries that's excluded, that's not really part of us yet. I don't see Afghanistan as a... I've been to Afghanistan, I've worked there and stuff, but I don't really think they look at stuff like this. So they might not be interested. Well, it would be interesting to see if we do get someone from Afghanistan. Maybe I should get some friends from there to join. But yeah, otherwise, we try to cater for everyone. It's important to me that anybody with the drive to change their life and help others should be able to do so with ZarFund. That's why I'm totally hands-off. I'm just trying to enhance and build and create the site to be the best vehicle people can use to earn a living online. That's why the payment options, everything, as much as possible, should be automated so that people, members, have control. 90% is that members should have control over what happens in ZarFund. And I'm just a facilitator to make sure that the program works like it should, and where we can, we do enhancements. So yeah, there will be a couple of changes. One of the things that's going to change is the front end of the website. When you send people there, so the website, the looks will change. And also in the back end, we're looking at the matrix to put it more in a way that people can easily look at their downline. So yeah, there's some good changes on the way in ZarFund, and I'm looking forward to releasing those within the next couple of weeks.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else got any questions? We're pushing about 50 minutes. Hanson, if you would, well, I guess we can go ahead and let you close this out, buddy, and we'll just leave it that and let you close out the hangout for us, if you don't mind, sir.
All right, no problem. Thank you, Greg. To everybody listening to this live broadcast, well, when you're listening, it might not be live anymore, but I must say I've met the most amazing people in ZarFund in a little while. We've been open now for 20 days, and I've met the most amazing people, the most amazing leaders. I can't believe how much time and effort leaders put into this to help their members. And it's because I think it's easy to find two people. And then for those that are better at recruiting, that's what they do. They keep on recruiting because that's how they function. So it's easy to get spillover, even though you shouldn't rely on spillover. Try and learn the skills of the game. And the most important skill you have to learn is to try and find others that will be interested in what you have to offer. I hope that ZarFund will bring you the joy and the income and the friendships that you're really looking forward to in life, and that it will change your life. I really hope that ZarFund will be the catalyst that you need to change your life, to have a better life, to have a bright future, and mend those and build those relationships that can really make a difference in your life, in your family's life, and to be able to touch as many people's lives as possible. So thank you guys. I really gave me time to speak to you about ZarFund and to give answer your questions and give you some more insight on what ZarFund is all about. So thank you, and from me, I really appreciate you. Thanks, Greg.